Are we good to go? Right. Dear officers, very, very good evening to one and all. Okay. With respect to my class, like I expect all our officers to be like kings and queens. With respect to my class, कभी भी आ जाइए, like with respect to anything, पानी पीने का, like बैठने का तरीका, उसमें कुछ माइंड में नहीं रखने का. आराम से बैठिए, आराम से सुनिए. Like if you are not feeling, like if you have got anything like that, you can go, you can come, and there is no need for me to, like no need for you to ask me, right? This is one thing, because your convenience is most important. So किसी काम में आपको मजा आना है. मजा नहीं आए तो काम नहीं करना है. So for this class also, if you are not feeling, like you can relax, you can have the other modes also. So with this, let's get started. One of your friend yesterday asked a question. So in fact, two questions. In that first one was this. The question was, sir, here in deontology, please concentrate on deontology. In deontology, you are saying that means are the things which you have to consider. But we are using people as ends. Is the question clear to you? So means are the only things which we have to concentrate. But your friend asked a question has to, like here in categorical imperative, we are using people as ends. So ये कैसा होगा? So what is your answer for that? So here the most important thing is, what is the mean? Mean is categorical imperative. What is your duty? Following that. Clear? To evolve to this categorical imperative, we made certain assumptions or certain criterias. Is the point clear? So here we are concentrating only on the means. What is the mean? Following categorical imperative. To arrive at that, one of the thing we consider is not to use people as means, or to use people only as ends. So that was the thing. Okay. So social influence. What do you understand by social influence? First of all, society. Wherever you get, whatever may be the thing. So here you often hear society and social. Please come again. People cannot be used as means. Here, what we are using as means is not people, categorical imperative. So, like how we arrive at categorical imperative? By reason. So, is reason dependent on you? No. So, in any situation, if we apply reason, if we apply logic, if we apply truth, there will be one way. That one way is categorical imperative. Right? So, what is the difference between society and social? A very important, often confusing. In fact, till I completed all my attempts, I was not aware of this. Is my question clear to you? What is the difference between social and society? Society means all those things which we have studied. Group of people, geography, having a culture, value, all these things. That is society. Social refers to the relation, the bond, the structure between the people. Clear? Very important. So economic related to production with respect to other things. Okay. So before this, one more question like one of your friend asked. So with respect to attitude, we have got three things. Cab. So is it related to individual or society? The question was, even society has these things. So is it with respect to society or individual? So it is with respect to individual. but that is based on the societal aspects. Okay. So social influence. So what is the literal meaning? How the interaction, how the people affect your attitude. That is very simple, right? So social influence, how society influences. In fact, to be particular, how the social relations, how the bonding, in line with this social capital you might have heard. So what is social capital? It is the capital which is the result of the bond between, the trust between the people. Human capital? No. Developing human beings, say for example, eradicating poverty and giving them wages, livelihood, all these things amount to human capital. Human capital. Social capital refers to the relation, what you have, because that is also a very big capital. So the definition we have already studied, the process whereby our attitudes are influenced by real or imagined presence of people. So in other way, the process whereby our attitudes and behaviors are influenced by real and imagined presence of people. It impacts our emotions, opinions, and behavior. Right? So what are the ways in which the society influences your attitude? Through knowledge and behavior. Correct, but it is like broader one. Specifically, how society, how the people influence you, to be particular. Okay, okay. Can you think of any process? Say, for example, generally, all people wear like full pants. राजेंद्र नगर में. Why? उनको सबको शॉर्ट पहन के घूम सकते हैं ना. There are some people who roam. Other than that, let's not get into exception. Why you all wear like pants in general? Why? Mm, culture, still social standard. Okay. Another question. Say for example, there is a school or college where use of mobile phones are banned, right? So in that regard, all of you are signing a notice to the management saying that we need mobile. मोबाइल नहीं तो हमारा जिंदगी वो हो रहा है, ये हो रहा है, पिकअप करने के लिए नहीं हो रहा है, many things like that. तो confusion ये सब. But you really feel that banning mobile is very, very important. But all the students have already signed saying that mobile should not be banned. The paper comes to you. So आप क्या करते हैं? Generally, will do sign. So what is this phenomenon known as? Like we can say social pressure, but still there is one concrete one. So this is said to be conformity. So conforming to the norms of the society. That is said to be one way of influencing. Do you agree that it has influenced you? So we have got like we say, for example, boys and girls, we have different patterns of combing hair. Why we comb in the same way? See, I have got one crop here. I would have made four. इधर एक, इधर एक, इधर एक. क्यों नहीं किया मैंने? Yes. So that is one of the most important one. And also, like, what are the other ways in which society influences? The next is compliance, and the next is authority. These are the major, but there are many. We'll discuss all of these things one by one. So these may appear very, very like common sense for you, but they have got a very, very deep meaning in these things. So these are the processes in which the people influence: conformity, compliance, and obedience. So these three should be read together because there is a lot of similarity and a link. afterwards peer pressure, socialization, even leadership influences, and persuasion, salesmanship, and marketing skills. So these are the general ways in which the people influence. Okay. The main types of social influence are conformity, compliance, and obedience. So here, with respect to conformity, just you are confirming yourself. In the second one, you are complying, you are just agreeing. In conformity, like you willingly agree to that. But in compliance, there is little difference. In obedience, there is one important thing. What is that? You obey whom? Whom do you obey? Do you obey your juniors? Then whom you may obey your elders? So what is that? One thing, authority. So authority is the key thing here. Conformity means behaving according to the group norms, right? This is the one line thing which you should have in your mind. That is expectations of other group members. Conformity means behaving according to the group norms. What are norms? Unwritten. Very good. Unwritten, and also you have to add one more, informal. They are not formal. Unwritten and informal rules of the society. So here workers. There is a classical example given often in industries. Say for example, a individual is supposed to work and produce 10 units of work. He is not allowed to produce 20 units by the workers itself. At the same time, they won't allow any individual to produce only 5 units because that is a group norm. Say for example, if you are in library, so library में आप जब चाहिए आप उठ के जा सकते हैं क्या? जा सकते हैं, but you won't go. Why? Because there is already a norm. So you are agreeing to those norms, right? So students, I have given the example. Why do people follow group norms? Now you have got an idea of the things. When the only punishment they may face if they do not is displeasure of the group or being perceived as different. Tendency to follow norms is natural and spontaneous. Why? Nobody will punish. आप शॉर्ट्स में आए तो कोई पनिश नहीं करता. But why do you agree? The only punishment is you will be said to be different. That's it. In fact, has the society like where go from a in a descending order? If you go to primitive societies, social disapproval is one of the major punishments. Think in a village, you are said to be different, and all people have kept you out. How does that feel? Right? So the only punishment is like if you come in off shorts, something like that, you will be said to be different. But even then, you conform to the norms. Why? First of all, norms represent set of unwritten and informal rules of behavior. So norms represent the rules of behavior. So you have to follow rules. They tell us what is expected, makes the whole situation clear. When you have got a rule, you have to follow. But the thing is, it is unwritten and informal. Right? In general, people feel uncomfortable if they are considered different. So you don't want to be considered different from others. The social punishment may lead to disapproval or dislike by others. What will people think? What will people say? Because of that, we do. So in line with this one, say in many occasions, why boys won't wear girls' dresses? Some instances were there. कोई आपको मारेगा? Then why you are not wearing? That is social influence. But girls do wear boys' dress. That is also in conformity, because all societies are varying, all people are varying. Second, the norm is seen as a reflection of the views and beliefs of the majority. Most people believe that majority is more likely to be right, which shows on television. कौन बनेगा करोड़पति आप सब देखे होंगे. So what are the lifelines present? 50-50. Audience poll, phone a friend. So in majority of the cases, it is found that oh majority like audience poll रहता है ना, people generally go with that one. So you may be an UPSC aspirant who have studied more. You may be knowing more about the things, but even then you go with the majority. कौन बनेगा करोड़पति के लिए कौन जाते हैं? यूपीएससी एस्पिरेंट जाते हैं क्या? Even then you go with the majority. Why? You think that majority is correct. Next, okay. There is a beautiful experiment known as autokinetic effect done by Sharif. So what is kinetic? Motion. Potential, the energy which you get by place, height. So autokinetic, what does this mean? Moving on its own. So very simple experiment. Please concentrate. The first and last lines are very important. Sharif conducted a series of experiments to determine how the groups form their norms. Very important. How the groups form norms. What does this mean? How the groups form unwritten, informal rules for the group itself. And members make their judgment according to these norms. Participants were seated in a dark room and asked to concentrate on a point of light. So say for example, you can think this one, any point. After watching this point of light, each person was asked to estimate the distance through which the point has moved. Right? Clear? Self-explanatory, no need to explain. This kind of judgment had to be made over a number of trials. After each trial, the group was given information about the average distance judged by other members. So a point concentrate कीजिए और a point कितना दूर move हुआ, that you have to tell. So this was done over a period of time, like series of sets were done. After each trial group, okay, it was observed that on subsequent trials, subjects, that is the candidates, modified their judgment in a way that made them more similar to the group's average. So at the end of each test, they were giving the average of the group. So like बाद में क्या हुआ कि like group average क्या है? Your answer tilted towards that. Interesting aspect of this experiment was that the point of light actually did not move at all. So the point of light in the dark room did not move at all. But every time they were asked, like, how much distance did it move? In that, in fact, there were 8 people. In that, there will be only one person who is said to be observant. All others are confidentials of the experimenter. So the group gives random answers. They already know that it is not moving, but they say that it is moving 10 centimeters. Someone is saying 15 centimeters. You first thought that it is not moving, but afterwards you changed. Still, the more important thing is light was only seen as moving by the participant. Therefore, the effect has been called autokinetic effect. Yet, in response to the instructions from the experimenter, the participants not only judged the distance of the light moved, but also created a norm for its distance. So here it is showing how they created a norm also. Right? Clear? So this is an important experiment for conformity. Next, compliance. In this, like, there is a request. In compliance, there is a request or some external pressure. Say, for example, there is a march, there is a procession. Think that there are 1,000 people. In that, one person comes and says that this is a procession with respect to environment. I want to paste this a small sticker on your bike or somewhere on your gate, something like that. It is found that generally people agree. So here they are not like it's not like conformity, but even then they agree to some request which is made. Another example, good example will be salesmen. So salesmen like आए तो हमें क्या लगता है, आओ जी आओ बैठो काफी पियो, दे आप दिए क्या है, ऐसा कुछ पूछते हैं क्या हम? So we don't in fact, but even then they make sure that they get an appointment, right? So why do you complain? Yes, there is some external thing. Say generally वो क्या बोलते हैं? What they say, first word, either in our place, first thing they say is we are not salesmen. We are students. We have come on a project. We are from company, didn't they? So that is the way they do. Somehow, at last, you agree. You know that 100% you don't want to take. मेरा घर में मिक्सी है बोले तो like you will show another product, something like that. Even then, somehow the other way you complain. This is said to be complaints. So here, in compliance, there is external conditions that force the individual to accept the influence of significant others. So this is the key term with respect to compliance. There is external conditions that force the individual to accept the influence of significant others. In case of conformity, there won't be that external force. You don't want to be called different. That is the reason you are not wearing the things. Compliance also refers to behaving in a particular way in response to a request made by someone. The kind of behavior shown when salesperson comes to your door. Why do people complain? And also they feel that by agreeing, we won't be losing much. That is the reason. So in many situations, this happens because it is easy way out of the situation. It is more polite and other party is also pleased. So here, what is the important difference between compliance and conformity? Yes, at least request also you can say. Okay. Techniques when someone wants other person to comply. So what are the techniques? Reward and punishment, it is correct. It is in the attitude formation, but how people with respect to complying, reward and punishment, it's very much correct. But when it comes to authority, when it comes to obedience, yes, that is there. That is with respect to obedience. Authority रहता है. इधर सेल्स पर्सन को कुछ अथॉरिटी नहीं रहता. So the first one, foot in the door technique. The person begins by making a small request that the other person is not likely to refuse. So foot in the door technique. So what you should imagine, हमारा पुराने हिंदी फिल्म्स में चोर अंदर कैसे आते हैं, ऐसे आ जाते हैं क्या? First they will keep one leg, afterwards like this, isn't it? So in the same way, so ऐसा है कि first the person begins by making a small request that other person is not likely to refuse, right? So think, you want 1,000 rupees. So if you ask 1,000 rupees, the chances are high that you won't be getting. So first what you will say? 10 rupees or 100 rupees. Afterwards, mummy, if you can give another, it will be very good. मैं ऑटो में चला जाऊंगा, दोस्त सब ऑटो में जा रहे हैं, something like that. There all people will be eating something, so I also should eat. So here they make a small request the other person cannot refuse. So youths maybe a technique knowingly or unknowingly they use to impress others. What is that? Think that you are interested in some person. जाके डायरेक्टली आई लव यू बोल दिया, विल दे एक्सेप्ट? सो क्या बोलना है? हाँ, आई डेंट हियर. आस्क फॉर ए पेन. ओके. ओके, नाइस. यस, दैट इज द फर्स्ट वन. पेन नहीं तो ओके, आईएएस ऑफिसर है, पेन दे देते हैं. और स्टिल, so I am also aspirant, I am reading all these things, I have finished all these things, you are also preparing, shall we be friends? पूछ सकते हैं ना, instead of going directly to that. ऐसा बोले तो you know the answer already. So you are making a request, the other persons won't say no. That is the one. Second one is deadline technique. So this is often used, say for example, with respect to any sales. So year-end sale, or Amazon there will be one clock ticking also. If you buy within this period, you will get this one. So this, another is door in the face technique. So this is the other way around. So here, intentionally you ask a very big one. Intentionally you just need 10 rupees, but you asked 1000 rupees. The other person says no. So you will ask, do you have 1000 rupees? Will you give me? He says no. Then what will be the next? Can you give 100 rupees? He says still no. Then once again you coming to 10 rupees. So ये सेल्समैन में भी ऐसा ही होता है. उन लोगों को बड़े बड़े चीजों को सेल करना नहीं रहता. What they do? They'll show a big mixer grinder, something like that, Japanese made, things like that. Somehow you won't agree. You say that already we have. उसका बाद उसका बैग से एक निकलता है, मैडम दिस इज द लेटेस्ट जूस मेकर मैडम, ओनली 10 रुपीज. ऐसा स्क्वीज करो लेमन या ऑरेंज, समथिंग लाइक दैट, जूस विल कम हियर. सो एट लास्ट यू से ओके, ये तो नहीं ले रहा हूँ, ये लेऊंगा. सो दिस इज द अनदर टेक्निक. सो दिस आर द टेक्निक you also should apply after you becoming officers and also in your real life. Okay, obedience. As I said, the distinguishing feature of obedience is is that such behavior is in response to the person in authority. So here you can differentiate. Say for example, there is a class. Three situations: when there is teacher, when there is class leader, and when there is some of your friend. आपका friend बोलता है, please don't make noise, ऐसा मत करना है, we are all students. Will your friend listen? Or there will be one monitor who takes pen nowadays like marker and comes on the board and says that if somebody talks, I'll write the names. Little. Teacher bole to, like you will accept. Right? So when compliance is shown to an instruction or order from a person in authority, sir, as you are saying. So compliance, when it is shown with respect to the instruction given by a person in authority, such as parents, teachers, leaders, policemen, that behavior is called obedience. Right? So there is a very famous experiment also here, Milgram experiment. You heard of this? Okay. 1 minute. This is one of the influential experiments. Here, E is the experimenter, T is the teacher, L is the learner. So here the experimenter is noting all the things and he is giving instruction to teacher. So here teacher is asking the questions. So you can see the a wire also. So if the student is not answering, so daily answer writing nahi kar raha hai, so kya karega? Like you will give shock. So if he is not answering first question, only some 10 words. If he is not answering second question, 20 words. So it goes on. And this teacher like ends up giving shock to such extent that this learner faints. He becomes unconscious. So आपको भी ऐसे ही करना है. So if you are not getting up early, so here the thing is, this learner is a confidant of the experimenter. इधर electric shock कुछ नहीं रहता. He will be simply acting. But this person won't be knowing, the person, teacher. So the experimenter says, like he is not answering, increase the shock. So he is giving. So here, since if anything goes wrong, he won't be held accountable. Right? So similarly, there is also one experiment with respect to prison. So the group was divided into two. One are said to be police and another are said to be prisoners. उसमें कुछ difference नहीं रहता. The time you get that authority, you started acting as a policeman. The time you are said that you are a prisoner, you started like submissive. Yeah, ऐसा हो जाता है कि ये police people started beating these people because they have authority, and these people accepted that one. Are you getting this? So here the key term is authority. So why obedience? Why do people obey? Very good. Tend to avoid punishment. Then you already know this answer. जल्दी आंसर कीजिए. Fear. Okay. Why fear? Punishment. So why do you obey your parents? Monthly money आना है ना. So ऐसा like other than some traditional societies like ours, पूरा दुनिया में ऐसा नहीं रहता कि a child became like 20 years, उसको father feed कर रहा है. Think, ऐसे संसार में like कहीं नहीं है. Even 1 year, 2 year, उसके बाद भगा देते हैं. But still 20 years have been earning, some may be earning. So ऐसे ही गया, so till 30 years your parents will be supporting you. So this is one of the characteristics of Indian society. In America ऐसा नहीं रहता. SSLC हो गया, he also won't be listening. My life, my things, he does all the things he want. And parents also don't care. And because of this reason, in Western countries and in America, native people जो रहते हैं, they are not studying, especially courses like medicine, engineering. 90% of all the doctors in America and Europe are from Asian countries. क्योंकि like 5 years, 10 years कैसा पढ़ सकता है आदमी? If they are given full freedom, so वो नहीं होगा. So why do people obey? Very simple. If we disobey, some punishment might follow. Then we believe that persons in authority must be obeyed. Right? Police. Why do you obey police? So he is the person in authority. Then people in authority have effective means of enforcing. So आप ज़्यादा नखरे किए, parents won't give money. So they have all the means. So if you are not like listening to mother, so what the mother does? Father. ऐसा. So they have means. People obey because they feel that they are not responsible for their own actions. They are simply carrying out the orders of the authority. This is one of the things like which happened, and it was in fact even the judges were in dilemma with respect to Hitler government. So Hitler government को छोड़ दीजिए. Think that there is a war between India and America, क्योंकि हमारा लेवल अमेरिका से होता है. So before that, which is the most beautiful country in the world? बहुत अच्छा country कौन सा है? No, always India. At any cost, that should be the one. We should be proud of our country, because ये आपका दिमाग में नहीं है तो definitely the way you answer will be different. It is said that there is lot of intolerance in the society. This is the question which has been asked generally for students from minority community. What do you say? So इसमें हम आमिर खान वो लोग कैसे बोलते हैं, ऐसे नहीं बोलना है. So which is the most beautiful country? Which is the number one country in the world? Always, inevitably, India. So here, what should be your answer? India is a land of diversity. There is difference of opinion. In some cases, things escalate, but that cannot be taken as intolerance. The beauty is in the diversity itself. Unity in diversity should be the one. Say, for example, you are living in a family. Family में भी dispute रहते हैं. In fact, उधर ही ज़्यादा रहते हैं. But the blood is very thick. ऐसा कि झगड़ा हो गया, like with respect to your friend, 20 years friendship, एक दिन कुछ ऐसा ही कुछ हो गया, so खत्म, once for all, है ना, होता है ना, ऐसा पेरेंट्स के साथ होता है. Why? That is in the same way in our country also. There are some things you have to make these things in a positive way. अरे हम घर में झगड़ा करते हैं, ऐसे सोसाइटी में भी रहता है. With respect to like different religious sects, there are differences. So for all those kind of things, your answer should be to find the solution. Definitely there is intolerance created by many politicians. Say for example, there are some parties. If the election comes, what they do? Not only that, so they polarize the votes. So उसमें झगड़ा करवाते हैं. Then people get to one side. So yeah, all these tactics will be there, but you have to come beyond those things. Okay. Next, authority generally possesses symbols of status like uniform. Just by seeing those things, you feel like obeying. Okay. Authority gradually increases commands from lesser to greater levels, and initial obedience binds the followers to commit. So generally, like if you are obeying, the degree increases. So now, what is the similarity? First one, what is the similarity between all this? Yes. What is the common thing? They all influence. Then what is the difference? Here, yes, yes, great. So here, the main thing is they are not different in kind. They are different in degree. So social influence हर जगह होता है, but in some the influence is very direct. In some it is to a lesser extent. इसमें higher level of social influence किस में है? Obedience or conformity? All the three indicate influence on others' behavior. Obedience is the most direct and explicit form of social influence. That's it. So because it is influencing more, right? Then compliance is less direct than the obedience because someone has requested and thus you comply. Here the probability of refusal is also there. So why it is said to be direct and more influential obedience? इसमें refuse करने का chances बहुत कम है. Here there are chances that you may refuse. Conformity is the most indirect form You are confirming because you don't want to deviate from the norm. You don't want to be called different. So these are the three things. I hope these things are clear to you. Okay. So these are the things which are given in most of the NCERT and IGNO books, these three. In addition, some of the standard psychology books also mention of Herbert Kuhlman. He is said to be authority in this respect. So ye kya bole hai, that also we should be learning. So the same things here, but little differentiation, but they are very important. Compliance is when people appear to agree with the others, but actually keep their dissenting opinion private. Please read this again. Here, you have to differentiate two things, behavior and attitude. इसमें behavior change हुआ या attitude change हुआ, right? There only the change in behavior, the attitude is same, right? Second one, identification is when people are influenced by someone who is liked and respected, such as famous celebrities. So I repeat, you identify with some person. So when I was young, so normally, like generally, off late, all boys like दाढ़ी छोड़ना start किए हैं. Why? Previously it was not there. ऐसा गई तो क्यों, क्या हो गया तुम्हें, शेविंग नहीं करवा क्या सकते क्या, ऐसा पूछते थे. Why now? Because all film actors, all they started this. And when I was young, ये पीछे बाल छोड़ने का वो स्टाइल था, संजय दत्त, first time he started. So why? You identify with them, you identify with Kohli, you identify with some actor, right? The next is internalization. So you have to understand how the things are changing here. In internalization is when people accept a belief or behavior and agree both publicly and privately. When people accept the belief or behavior and agree publicly and privately, means it becomes part of you. You get internalized. Both changes. And here one thing is that why those things get internalized? Because your values are in line with that. There are many film actors. Shah Rukh Khan, why some people like Shah Rukh Khan? Because उनमें जो वैल्यू है और शाहरुख खान में like similar or what they expect. Okay. These are the three processes of attitude change. One is compliance. Compliance is the act of responding favorably to the explicit or implicit request offered by others. Compliance is change in behavior, not necessarily attitude. Right? Coleman, the satisfaction derived from compliance is due to the social effect of accepting influence. People comply for an expected reward or punishment or aversion. So otherwise, they would have not. The key thing here is change in behavior, not necessarily the attitude with respect to compliance. With respect to identification is the changing of attitude or behaviors due to the influence of someone who is admired. So advertisement people, they often use celebrities because people identify with celebrities. Internalization is a process of acceptance of a set of norms established by people or groups that are influential to the individual. So here, what is there? Already a person is expecting those things. The individual accepts the influence because the content of the influence accepted is intrinsically rewarding. It is congruent with the individual's value system. So please read these things, very important. See, internalization may, what you are expecting, they are in line with the things, right? So what is the previous one? In case of identification, you identify with certain person. And in case of compliance, this just change in behavior, not attitude. Okay. So these are the definitions, and these are the ways how society influence, how the people influence. Okay. Next, persuasion. What is the difference between persuasion and manipulation? Okay. In persuasion, we are appealing to the rational thing and also the emotional thing, right? Okay. What is persuasion? Very simple definition is the process of guiding oneself or others towards the adoption of some attitude. So here, the process of guiding oneself, not only others, also you, for the adoption of some attitude. So here, what attitude should be adopted is specific by rational or symbolic means. So rational means what? Among our ABC, which is very near to rational cognition. So symbolic means not that, emotional. Symbolic things like they have got some emotional effect also. Not like the nearer, not exactly. Okay. Attempts to win the heart and mind of others. So this is one of the key point which you have to keep in mind. So here you are winning the heart and also mind of others. Okay. Components of persuasion. So persuasion में क्या components हो सकता है? Okay, very good. So simple. I want to pursue you. So what are the things here? First is I, second is you. Then what next? Knowledge. Knowledge through how? Message. So message. Then what else? Common goal. So we are communicating. So communication challenge, channel. So these are the things. Very simple. इसको आप like याद करने का जरूरत नहीं है. Just the same what I have told. Like communicator, the person who makes influential attempt. The message, the characteristics of the communication. Third, channel, the medium used. Then audience, individual whom the communication is addressed to. Then environment, social or physical characteristics of the communication setting, environment. Okay. So these are the things. So what are the methods of persuasion? So talking, social media. Then, in fact, it's one of the greatest thing of the 21st century. Our values, everything are almost becoming homogeneous. So in ethics, very, very important, you have to take humanity as the one. See, these religions, these nations, all these things are done for the purpose of power by some or the other way. Are we like in war with any person from China? कुछ दुश्मनी है आपसे? So do you have any like hatredness to the people in the southern part of India, in the northern part of India? They may be different. So here the one thing like in all the case studies, in all this aspect, first thing what you have to consider is humanity. After that comes all these things. So I'll explain these things in case studies. So this is one of the most important book, Robert Cialdini. The book name is Influence, but they have spoken about the methods of persuasion. This book is like a New York bestseller for many days, and they have defined 6 weapons of influencing each other. Right? So, first one, reciprocity. So very simple one. So why we always go to others' marriage? We want them to come to our marriage, isn't it? Why we give gifts? 10 रुपए क्यों नहीं देते? Why? Because वो हमें 1 रुपए देने का चांसेस रहता है. So इसलिए आप 10 दिए तो ऐसा ही है ना. Like if you have helped, definitely that becomes a obligation on my part. So give and take. Not only this. Say for example, आप एक पार्क में डेली वॉक करते रहते हैं और एक लाइब्रेरी में पढ़ते रहते हैं. So you give a gentle smile. What will the other person do? Smile. कुछ भी हो. There is no like chemistry, biology, nothing there. But he gives. Why? Reciprocation. So give and take is the most important thing. And in fact, this is the secret of the humanity. It is in giving that you receive. ये जानना बहुत बहुत वेरी इंपॉर्टेंट थिंग है. और इसमें आप किसको दे रहे हैं वो मैना रहता है. Like coming back to our attitude thing. So when you see beggars, you have got attitude, right? Many cases we think of giving money to beggars, but we won't give. Why? Apply ABC concept. Past behavior क्या है आपका? What is the past behavior? Attitude is made up of ABC. Behavior. What is your past behavior experience with beggars? Think, say for example, this real experience here itself in old Rajendra Nagar. So I was eating something. A person came. So what I thought is, okay, I should help. So I gave 10 rupees. So वो क्या बोला? 10 रुपए में क्या आता है? That is one thing. So like it kept me like prickling in my mind. अरे ऐसा बोल दिया है. I thought of giving, nobody was giving, I gave ऐसा. So और एक दिन, okay, I was eating something, they asked. Okay, I gave that one. So कुछ खा रहा था उनको खिलाया. So what will happen next? उनका गैंग सब आ गए. So my attitude towards beggar is based on past experience. So this is what attitude is. Cognition तो है. From behavior also you learn some things. And also the affect which is having. Okay. Coming to reciprocity, give and take. A very, very important one. देखिए, इधर मैं बोल रहा हूँ, like none of you are competitors for each other. None of you. Because there are already 20,000 people who have cleared prelims once. Already. And UPSC is taking only 10,000 people for mains. So it's it's the last opportunity for you to make friends. इसका बाद नहीं रहेगा because you will be working in office, all these things. You will get one more opportunity if you get through civil service in Labasna. So here, this is a great opportunity to have like good relation, to build relations. And always it is in giving that you receive. Reciprocity. People find some ways to repay what they have received from others. So इसमें salesmen का example आप think कर सकते हैं? What do salespersons do? They give one gift also, complimentary. So why is that made? So you have that obligation. अरे ये मुझे दिया, मैं भी कुछ लेना है. So it was an experiment in that the two groups were there. One group was given like free refreshments like juice. And afterwards, they were asked to donate money for some charity, something like that. Another was not given refreshment and they were asked to donate. It was found that for whom you have given refreshments, they have donated in a huge amount. The other group has not. Why? Reciprocity, right? So here, like how to perceive someone, give something. Okay. Consistency. Once people have taken a stand, they are under both internal and external pressure to behave consistently and with commitment. So here, consistency is one of the most important thing. Say, for example, like I decided that I'm going vegetarian. सबको मैं बोल दिया. But I felt eating kebab. Will I eat kebab? Why? Committed. So इसलिए आपको भी कुछ like if you want to get something, get them committed. Say for example, if you take the apps also, so rating. So generally any website asks you to rate the things. So what you will be having options now or later. What does this mean? You are confirming that later you will be rating. It's not like never. मुझे नहीं चाहिए वो ऑप्शन नहीं रहता. So you are saying that later on I will do. Now I don't have time. So you should get anyone committed. Okay. Social proof, very, very important. We decide what is correct by noticing what other people think is correct. Why we are having same dress? Why you are following this ambience in the class? Because social proof. If everyone is behaving in certain way, especially at the higher level, most assume that this is the right thing to do. So this is often used in with respect to dissemination of information, dissemination of innovations. The examples are also important. Say for example, when urea, have you heard of urea? Fertilizer. When urea came into being, people were not using. Because someone put urea and the crop burned. Zyada dale to burn ho jayega. So what they will do is, in a village, they will take the progressive farmers. They'll give new seeds, new hybrid seeds. So that will they will grow. So that demonstrates that will be having a proof. So here, for anything, they should have social proof. If everyone is behaving in certain way, especially at the higher level, most assume that that is the right thing to do. And in fact, this is one of the method used by missionaries also. Most of the like tribes which were converted to Christianity, not only like in Africa, even in our Northeast, what they used to do. So what they do is at the higher level, chief of the tribes रहता है ना, उसको convert करो. Then all the people will follow. So how to convert? Say for example, there is a village. So first, if the priestly class or the person in authority, if they get converted, others will automatically think that. Okay. Next, liking. People say yes to people whom they like two ways: physical attractiveness and similarity. Right? So physical attractiveness, you are aware of that. Similarity. Can you give an example? Yes. Say for example, you bunked the class and went to movie, and you saw your friend who has bunked and also came. So you that is one way. And say for example, there are many creams in the market. So इसमें एक गोरा लड़का एक काला लड़का को आके ये अप्लाई करो फेयर एंड लवली you will become white. Will that be more impressive? Or a black person comes and says, maybe तुम्हारा जैसा काला ही था, इसको लगा कि थोड़ा गोरा हुआ हूँ. So similarity. So in these kind of situations, सो आपको लाइक परस्यू करना है तो सिमिलर पीपल को लेकर जाना है. से फॉर एग्जाम्पल सम गर्ल्स आर हैविंग प्रॉब्लम, सो बॉय जाके बोले तो उतना नहीं होगा. ए गर्ल हैज टू से, because why? Because similarity. And also you have to use like attractive people also. Authority, people respect the authority both real and implied. So how to pursue the elders of a village to send girl child to school? Authority कैसा? विलेज में विलेज हेडमैन रहता है, एल्डरली लाइक ये बड़ा आदमी है, समथिंग लाइक दैट. तो उन लोगों को लेके जाना है आप. इफ दे से दे विल ओबे. Then scarcity, people want more of what they cannot have. Now you are not feeling luxurious because you have phone. Why? Because all are having, even beggars are having, so you won't feel that. So limited edition क्यों करते हैं? Why limited edition watch, limited edition pen? Even say if you go to higher brands, they will make only specific numbers itself. Yes, दिल्ली में सब लोग बेंज कार लेके घूमे तो बेंज कार कौन लेगा? Can't Benz make cheaper versions of cars? They can make. They can make. Why they are not making? So because like you want to have those things which are scarce. In fact, it is one of the reason for the increase of dowry system also. So in previous days, say like who are at the top? A boy who is earning more, priestly class, higher in the hierarchy. Unko like if they have any marriage with them, it will be good. So उनको demand ज़्यादा होता था. Okay. So this is the book. So I have summed up same things what I have said here. So scarcity is something like which I feel like you should be. Okay. इसको एक बार पढ़िए. So this is a like diagram which explains all the things. So in fact, I thought of, like generally I thought of making points, but what I feel is like you should have a sentence also. So आपको थोड़ा ऐसा लगे कि सर स्लाइड्स में पढ़ रहे हैं, फिर भी आई फील दिस इज द गुड वन, बिकॉज दैट दिस इज ए वेरी एजुकेशनल प्रेजेंटेशन. एक दो तीन पॉइंट बोल दिया ऐसा नहीं है, बिकॉज टेली मेकिंग पॉइंट्स इज वेरी इजी फॉर मी, and for any teacher reading he is very difficult one. Okay, so now we'll take a very very important one, that is with respect to case studies. Okay, case studies, like you are already aware of the things. To master case studies solve करने के लिए क्या होना चाहिए? First thing, okay, so I'll explain these things in a systematic way. Okay, so these are the previous year questions, but like as I always say, I request you all to try, because these questions से मैं इतना बोल दिया. देखिए, this question cannot be answered with all the things I have told extra also, how attitudes are formed, all these things. This cannot be answered. But this question has been repeated many times, bureaucratic attitude and democratic attitude. We'll look into those things also, like this one, especially. Can we answer this? Just read. So why I say is यूपीएससी मेंस के लिए आपका थिंकिंग, आपका लाइक आउटपुट होना है, नॉट जस्ट इनपुट। पॉलिटी मेंस के लिए पढ़ना लक्ष्मीकांत और एक बार मत पढ़ो। So what you have to read, I have told. Only questions are coming from that itself. So when you answer questions like this, you will find that the same is repeated. So in this direction, like I request you to answer these two questions. This one, what factors affect the formations of person's attitude towards social problems? There are contrasting attitude, all these things. Please go home, think on your own. There is no need to refer anything. If you refer everything, anything, your originality is lost. First, you have to think. Afterwards, ये सब रहता ही है. Definitely, you will be referring all those things. What are the main factors responsible for gender inequality in India? Not only that, what are the main reasons for like child marriage, for child labor? All these things can be asked. So please do answer these questions, two questions. So with respect to case study, so this is the general one. There will be generally 6 case studies every time. And in fact, why people are getting more marks in ethics paper is because of this. क्योंकि आंसर केस स्टडी में ही रहता है. So who, like in my opinion, if a student has got 100 marks, that person is getting 60 marks in case study and 30 to 40 marks in theory, because theory questions are exceptionally difficult, except like 20-30% which are direct. So like 400 words कितना रहता है? Let me show you one. See, this is one case study recently given. So देखिए ऐसा है. Don't read, no need to read, just to show you the length. So ये इतना नहीं है, it still has. Do you feel this is lengthy? Then what about this? Right? Then what about this? ये मेरा केस स्टडी नहीं है, 2022 का फर्स्ट क्वेश्चन था. So what is the take home to solve case study? So here very important, there are two ways, two things needed for this examination. One is input. So how? By reading. Second is output. So आपका रीडिंग स्पीड, कॉम्प्रहेंशन अच्छा रहना है, नहीं तो ये एग्जाम आपके लिए नहीं है. I never use this kind of words, but that is true. Why? You won't be in a position to complete GS2 paper at all. GS1 paper also. Question क्या एक लाइन में होते हैं? Do you think the questions are in one line or two lines? They will be like huge. Not only that, even to understand the CSAT question, you should have command over language. Otherwise, you may have to read 3-4 times. You won't get the meaning. So this is very, very important that you have better comprehension. नहीं तो आपका प्रीलिम्स लाइक पेपर कंप्लीट ही नहीं होगा. एक बार पढ़े तो आपको समझ में नहीं आएगा. So you should have comprehension, good reading speed. So how to develop? This is the most important practical thing. सबको इसमें टाइम कम ही रहता है. Why? The reason is it is made to see that you get less time. Say for example, optimally, if a person takes 10 minutes time, UPSC intentionally keeps and gives only like 5 to 7 minutes. Why? Especially in ethics paper and also in CSAT. Why? Can you relate anything related to attitude? Yes, it's true. With respect to ethics paper, what they are testing? Attitude. What are attitudes? Mental predispositions, psychological tendencies. So mental predispositions means ऐसे सिचुएशन में क्या करना है? Already your mental predisposition is there. That they want to test, not your calculations. एक दिन दिए तो आप अच्छे आंसर लिख सकते हैं. That is not their testing. मेंटल प्रीडिस्पोजिशन, आपका दिमाग में क्या है वो दे वांट टू नो. दैट इज द रीजन इंटेंशनली दे हैव reduced. That is one thing. With respect to CSAT, since the time is intentionally kept low, in my opinion, don't touch 10 questions which are very difficult for you. Those areas touch mat karo. Am I making this point clear? So here 70 question answer करना easy है. 80 बोले तो already you will be gone. तो आपको one third चाहिए. And that is one thing. Last time, all the students who have like attempted maths related things, they have failed. Those who made passages, somehow they escaped. So you should balance. Next time ये उल्टा हो सकता है. And passages are very very beautifully made. आपको वो पढ़ के उसका वो questions भी पढ़े तो like you will get eureka moments. So this is my like in fact very important thing. So इसमें आपको good comprehension and writing speed रहना है. This is very very important thing, and in fact these are some of the things which I used to teach only and I used to guide only in my like personal guidance sessions. 2 passages every day you have to do. That may be GS4, CSAT and English mains में रहता है ना वो, all are same. So आज से this is very very high time you start these things, क्योंकि आपका एथिक्स पेपर इससे इजी हो जाएगा, आपका सीसेट पेपर इजी हो जाएगा, आपका प्रीलिम्स पेपर बोथ सीसेट एंड दिस वन विल बी इजी. सो डेली 2 कॉम्प्रहेंशन पढ़ो. डोंट कीप टाइम लिमिट. रीड इट अगेन एंड अगेन एंड यू गेट द क्रक्स, वो क्या बोल रहा है. ऐसा पढ़ो कि क्वेश्चन देखने के बाद आपको आंसर ऐसा ही आ जाना है. और गेटिंग मी? सो इसमें आप क्या करना है, से फॉर एग्जाम्पल economy related things, environment related things, उसमें like you have to differentiate and segregate and you have to read. And in addition, whether you read newspaper or not, daily read at least one editorial, because editorial इतने बड़े रहते हैं, passages छोटा. So when you are able to comprehend editorial, then it will be easy for you to comprehend this. इससे आपको like पूरा मदद हो जाएगा, because these are the things generally everybody can answer. So 2 passages पढ़ना है, this is very very important. आप कुछ पढ़े या ना पढ़े. Second thing is write the crux. वो एक लाइन में लिखो, 2 लाइन में लिखो. The passage may be very huge. Hindu editorial, if you are getting the like paper, just cut the editorial one. एक ईयर के लिए इतना रहता है उतना ही. And in a book, just write what they have said. That will be sufficing. Until and unless you do this, you are bound to fail. This is one of the things which I have noticed. जो like नहीं लिखते and those who don't write on their own, they are bound to fail. Why? Exam में you have to write on your own, right? So you won't be having those interconnections. So still many will be having the saying, sir, notes कैसे बनाना है? They lack this one. The major reason is they have not been doing. आप नोट्स बचपन से किया होता तो ये प्रॉब्लम ही नहीं आता था. So these are the most important thing which I want to stress upon. I feel this is one of the biggest secret. आपका comprehension अच्छा है तो ethics paper is damn easy. सबको पता है. कोई आपको 1000 रुपीज देने के लिए आए, what you will write? उसका ऊपर और 100 रुपीज दो, पूछते हैं क्या? You know what to write, but the thing is I have shown the passage. ऐसा पैसेज देखने से like आपका सब like हिल जाता है. So that is very very important. ये कीजिए, it is having phenomenal improvement. एक दिन में नहीं होगा, like आप it's like gym or exercise. So you go to gym and work out for 5 hours. कुछ फर्क दिखता है? कुछ नहीं दिखता. You go 1 week, कुछ फर्क दिखता है? It takes long time. These are the things which take time. For that you have to study. Okay. So nearly 70 to 80% repeated and one current related. Say for example, they are asked about Russia, Ukraine, Corona. Now they may ask Palestinian conflict issue. So a current related रहता है, one will be little different. So what you should be reading? First of all, we have got 69 case studies, 3 in 2012 and 11 years. इनको मास्टर करो. किसी कोचिंग वालों को उनका केस स्टडीज नेवर टच, बिकॉज ये लोग क्या करते हैं, लाइक दे टेक सम थिंग्स फ्रॉम ए न्यूज़पेपर, फ्रॉम दैट प्लेस, फ्रॉम दिस प्लेस, एंड दे मेक देयर ओन थिंग. नो, यूपीएससी क्वेश्चंस आर बेस्ड ऑन प्योर लॉजिक, प्योर एनालिसिस. इसलिए यूपीएससी क्वेश्चंस ही है ना, सीसैट में है, इंग्लिश में है, सब में है. जस्ट रीड देम. Questions have been repeated, and only last time the questions were different. So I want to make that point also clear. Till last year, almost everything was repeated. Last time thoda change hua hai. Okay. So here you should be reading topic wise, not year wise. Means things related to one variety should be put in one place. And very, very important thing for that, what you should be reading. देखिए 69 case studies है. Keep 69 pages. Don't write the case studies at the top. Just write the question number or just the crux. उसको कैसे सॉल्व करते हैं वो लिखो. Is my point clear to you? वो आपको लाइफ लॉन्ग रहना है. Just those 69 like sheets will make lot of difference. आपको कुछ आइडिया आया, कुछ आया, वही पेज में लिखो. Clear? So this is one of the most important thing. Okay. Case studies. Framework to solve case studies based questions. Okay. Most important, ethics paper में क्या टेस्ट कर रहा है? To begin with, what they are testing in ethics paper? Attitude, problem solving. So what you should be doing? We'll come to the first part. They are testing your attitude. So what you should be doing? You have to show your attitude, which is in line with the standards of the society, right? Not your knowledge, your attitude दिखाना है that this person is suited for civil service. Problem solving है. So what you should be doing? There is a problem, solve it. Is the point clear to you? So इसमें two parts है. In all the question, these two parts will be there. Along with that, there is also approach, how you approach the things. So इसमें first of all, to begin with case studies, identify, is it more related to problem solving or is it more related to attitude? But उसमें दोनों रहते हैं, दोनों दिखाना है. But first of all, when you zero down the things become very clear, right? Before I get into these things, I'll tell you one most important thing, which is there in public administration, where we have got problem solving and decision making. So what is this problem solving? कोई problem solving का बारे में teach नहीं करते. This is the crux, the cream of problem solving. First of all, in a case study, ask the question, what is the problem? Right? What is the problem? So what should be the next step? Very good. So what is the key for problem solving? Having more number of options. Right? What is the problem? Next, not just options, as many options as possible, however vague they may be. Exam में मत लिखो, पहले घर में ये करो. There may be hundreds of options. 100 options रह सकते हैं क्या? उससे भी ज्यादा रह सकता है. So you have to develop the art of coming up with options. देखिए 100 options आपका सामने हैं, then you can pick the option which is more important, which is more appropriate. So you have to brainstorm and you have to come up with more number of options. Then which is the appropriate one, take it. So here there will be a problem, you have to solve the problem. That is one part, very important. What is the next part? You should see that this problem never appears in future. वो क्या करना है, कंक्लूजन में रहना है. Is the point clear to you? You should make suggestions in such a way that this problem won't appear in future. So that is what they are testing. Clear? Any doubt with respect to problem solving? Very important. Problem solving, nobody teaches because that is very difficult and it is not that concretely given in anything. So with respect to case study, first and foremost, they are testing two things. We'll take only one now, problem solving. First of all, identify what is the problem. उसमें भी मेजर प्रॉब्लम क्या है, माइनर प्रॉब्लम क्या है, इमीडिएटली क्या होना है, फ्यूचर में क्या होना है. से फॉर एग्जाम्पल, आई गॉट फीवर और आई गॉट कोल्ड, राइट. So what is the solution for that? It's a problem. So what is the solution? I got fever. Dolo 360, right? 650, okay, right? But you shouldn't stop there. मुझे क्यों आया बुखार? Are you getting me? So you have to see that I never get this again. वो क्रक्स है. So immediately क्या करना है, लॉन्ग टर्म में क्या करना है. So these things comes by practice. Do you get some idea about problem solving? So इसमें immediate, long term, all varieties that will be there, you have to solve. Okay. Framework to solve case studies. Best question. Important point to be kept in mind. Number one, what is tested in this paper? As I explained, the syllabus itself says, I am not saying. You have to take this very, very seriously. देखिए ऐसा है, कॉन्स्टिट्यूशन में प्रियम्बल मोस्ट इंपॉर्टेंट है, ऐसा ये भी. once again I stress upon, before main syllabus there are few paragraph given, उसको like internalize किए, because they are testing only those things. Here it is saying that this paper will include test the questions, attitude and approach. Approach also important. What is the approach you are taking to issues relating to integrity and probity in public life? So what is the difference between integrity and probity? So here probity comes only in professions. In government, probity in government, last chapter. So integrity is following ethical standards, right? When this following ethical standards is proved through procedure, processes, when you follow rules, then it is probity. So इसमें issues related to integrity and probity. So first you have to demarcate whether it is in a professional life, whether it is civil service. Civil service is also a profession, or in personal life, or things like that. That is one thing. And problem solving approach to various issues and conflict faced by him in dealing with the society. So various issues and conflict faced by them. So क्या क्या है? What are the various issues you face in society? Child labor, regionalism. So all these things. So उनको like for all these things you should have the things ready, because child labor they have asked, sending the girl child they have asked, and they have asked about like sexual harassment at workplace. So उनको आप ready रहे तो like you will be able to answer this. So this is the crux for your answers. आपका आंसर में it is not, this paper is not like any other paper. Here they are testing your attitude and problem solving thing, right? Okay. So attitude, by testing attitude, they are testing your ethics. So you should be aware of how attitude is tested and the ABC components.
Sir, you are not audible. Hello.
Ashish ji, hello sir. Hello sir, am I audible? Ashish ji, please change the battery. Hello sir, am I audible? सर बैटरी चेंज करा लीजिए सर, वॉइस नहीं आएगी. Yes sir, please do change. Thank you sir. So yes, do ask to change the battery.
Okay. Am I audible now?
Yes sir, you are audible, perfectly audible sir. You can.
Okay, great. So हम किधर थे? So these are the things which most often people overlook. Nation. Don't you think nation is also a stakeholder? Society, organization. Say for example, you are working as a
Sir,
collector. You have to take
sir,
into the whole
students are
government
asking one to
organization,
slide back.
right? And you. So these are the things. What are the ethical issues involved? Like I'll deliberate on these things. Of late, for the last 2 3 years, these are the terms present in all questions. All questions. What are the ethical issues involved? What are the ethical concerns? What are the dilemmas? So what is the difference? All questions are invariably having these things of late. So ethical issue means a societal issue, a societal standard, right? Social issue, right? Ethical concerns means where societal norms are violated. सर और एक बार बोलिए. ओके ओके, कर देंगे कर देंगे. ओके. So I'll just brief these things very fast. So first you should have fair understanding of what is this paper testing about, because this is an entirely different paper, and who you are, you have to locate in the organization. Otherwise, your answers won't be appropriate. Next is here, in most of the cases, one of the most often overlooked thing is not taking into consideration the implied stakeholders. Explicitly अब तो पता हो जाता है. Like all people, institutions and organizations, you have to take into consideration. Often people fail to recognize themselves, organization, society, nation, and you can add one more, the humanity also. That also should be taken into consideration. What are the ethical issues involved? Say, for example, now let me give you an example. Ethical concerns, corruption. So, is it a ethical concern or ethical issue? So, when these like high probability of violation or violation of ethical standard, we can say that as concern. So, ethical dilemma, when you face like dilemma with respect to two ethical standards. Okay. So here, this is the most important thing. What are the sources of ethical guidance? Guidance to action. Okay, this is in chapter number 6. Ethics in public administration, laws, rules, regulation, and conscience as a source of ethical guidance. What is the meaning that you should be taking? So the chapter is in public administration, right? Civil service is part of public administration. So here for you, for your actions, laws, rules, regulations are the source of ethical guidance. Clear? So when you are working in an organization, those things, code of ethics, code of conduct, which we'll be discussing, those will be the things which you have to take into consideration. Normally, generally, आप नहीं लिख सकते. So in this regard, like I have given a broader picture of the things. So in a broader one, humanity. So what should be the source, guide to action? क्या है? The universal values or the core values, or the ethical standards, the reason and conscience. When it is said in general, right? So when it comes to citizen, so citizens, they can never violate constitution, right? Will the examiner take or select any individual who says secularism is bad, who says caste system is very good? Will the examiner take these people? So at any cost, in any part of the case study, you should never violate constitution. In fact, constitution is the highest value. What is the basis of laws, rules, and regulations? What is the constitution? What is the basis for constitution? Human rights. Great. Then what does Constitution of India reflect? आपने एक constitution लिखे है. What that reflects? Aspirations of people, means what people think good or bad, right? So here just concentrate. First one, values. Those values which are important for all society, core values. Values very subjective रहते हैं. So from that emerges some standards. What are those called? Ethics, right? Thank you. Okay, right? Okay. Right, keep those things aside. What is the basis for religion? Beyond that, yes, beyond that. Once again, values, right? Do you agree or not? Ethical standards. What is the basis of constitution? Same. So here, these are the forms of codifying the values. Religion is a form of codifying the value, right? Is this clear? So इसमें like I'll try one important thing. इसको टच करने में डर लगता है. Third one. How? So I said, so I'm going with you. Okay. तो ऐसा सोचिए, देखिए, values, right? From that comes your ethical standards, right? If you follow ethical standards, उसको क्या बोलते हैं? Integrity, right? A form of integrity, or where integrity is proved, where integrity is objective, probability, right? This is one. So coming to professions. So professions. All professions have values, right? From it comes what? Professional values. Professional values से क्या आता है? Professional code of ethics. कोड ऑफ एथिक्स, राइट। प्रोफेशनल कोड ऑफ एथिक्स से क्या आता है? कोड ऑफ कंडक्ट, राइट। So इसको like we can write in a diagrammatic form also. So here values are all encompassing. Within that comes your ethics. Within that comes your standards. So here religion, constitution, these are the forms of codifying what people expect. The constitution of Saudi Arabia is different from the constitution of India. Why? Right? So वो लोग क्या expect करते हैं वो है. What we expect, say for example, if you take America, lot of things which are banned here are legalized there. Say for example, drugs. So one of my friend was saying he was there. So a coffee shop में गया or one place, in a tray they brought all brown sugar, ganja, charas, everything. क्या चाहिए लो पियो. Because they expect those things. Because they give more importance for individualism, individual liberty. Right? Did you get the concept? So what is the basis of all values? So इसलिए the latest one, a question you may be getting, I'll explain that also later. So inculcating values become very important. Why? Because if your values are in line with the standards, smooth हो जाएगा. Your value system different है, ethical standards different है, then it has to be forced. So here inculcation of values becomes very, very important. That is the reason they have put in your first chapter, inculcation of values, right? So this is the one. Not only that, with respect to like second ARC has made a recommendation for civil service. So it says that there should be a law for civil service. Civil service law means we don't have civil service law till date. वो सिविल सर्विस लॉ में एक इंपॉर्टेंट रहेगा व्हाट इज नोन एज सिविल सर्विस कोड. क्लियर? एक लॉ बनाना है. लॉ बनाना बोले तो गिविंग स्टैट्यूटरी बैकिंग ऑन दैट यू शुड बी हैविंग सिविल सर्विस कोड. ये सिविल सर्विस कोड में क्या रहना है? इट सेज दैट एट द अपेक्स यू शुड हैव सिविल सर्विस वैल्यूज. इन द सेकेंड यू शुड हैव कोड ऑफ एथिक्स. At the base, you should have code of conduct. So by this logic, at least you can gauge that these values are a broader concept. Ethics uska andar aata hai. This code of conduct will be in the form of specific do's and don'ts. Right? Hope I have made the things clear. So पीछे कैसे जाना है अभी? Okay, 1 minute, I will do something. So we have got one method for these things. Okay, आ जाएगा. At least we are okay. इसमें ऐसा करना है. Okay. No. Okay. So are the things clear? So when you identify who you are, accordingly your ethical standards also be changing. Okay. So core values, these are the things. When you are citizen, constitution. आप किसी केस स्टडीज में कॉन्स्टिट्यूशन वायलेट नहीं कर सकते. So other than this, you also will be having the other things. When you are in society or community, in addition to these things, customs, norms also should be taken into consideration. With respect to profession, As I already told, each profession will be having values, code of ethics, code of conduct. One should be following those things. Right? Okay. What is the problem? As I told, this is the most important thing for half of the case study. You have to identify the problem, then identify the main problem, major problem, which required immediate action, which can be taken later. So आपका like पास कोई like some person who is visibly disturbed comes to you and says her or his problem. So क्या करना है आप पहले? Immediate क्या करना है? Yes. पहले उनको रिलैक्स करने के लिए बोलो. That shows how you approach. You have to imagine. Visibly disturbed. सर वो मुझे मारने आ रहा है. Okay, बेटो क्या हुआ? That is the way you should be doing. So first thing is main problem, major problem. उसका बाद which requires immediate action. So when your body temperature is very high, पहले एक 360 650 दे दो, उसका बाद देख सकते हैं किधर का आया आपने, क्यों आया, ये सब. So very important main or major problem and also the other things. Then most common mistake, not addressing the main or major problem. So when I am having fear, just giving paracetamol won't work. What is the root cause has to be taken. Should be aware of problem solving techniques, which I have already told. The major thing is what is the problem, what are the options. You have to come up with maximum options and you have to take the one. What are the options available to the problem? More option, better problem solver. Should differentiate between ethical and unethical options. This is one thing. Say for example, think that there are two people. One is a very pious, honest person, and another is a thief, dacoit or gunda kind of person. Both are in need of 1,000 rupees. So the question will be asked, what are the options available to you? So a person who is pious may not be getting those options which the thief will be thinking. Right? Robbing the bank is also one of the options. But can we consider that as an option? So here, whenever you are giving unethical options, you have to demarcate that the unethical options are. Some people say, you cannot say that corruption increases the utility, corruption makes people happy. Some people, critics, say these things. They are not your views. Okay. Should not violate constitution, laws, rules and regulation, code of ethics, code of conduct, ethical standard, core values, all these things at any cost. At any cost. I'll explain these things. Okay, way forward. Often not done by the students. Suggestions to prevent the problem in future. This is the one you should be doing. Then linking the contemporary ethical issue, if at all, if it is there, you can just link in 1 or 2 lines. Okay. Types of case study based questions. These are the things which I have changed. Previously, mera types of case study based questions were not like this. So as I told, very important, students should have a ready framework for each possible type. Superior आपको superior बोले तो क्या करना है, junior किए तो क्या करना है. So for all these things, you should have a structure. In fact, examination may, believe me, like you will be just reproducing what you have. You cannot think and you cannot write. So इसमें what are the things? Ethical issues, ethical concerns, dilemmas involved. Most of the questions you can go and see last 2-3 years में ये questions आ रहा है. So first you should know these things. Then type of questions. उसका बाद क्या है? What are the options available to you under given situation? सब क्वेश्चन में ये क्वेश्चन पूछते हैं. Why? Because by this they want to test your problem solving. In all the questions they are asking options. So that can be developed when you try critically examine or evaluate each option in all the questions, which is the most appropriate best course of action. So for this, you have to have a ready framework. Okay. What mechanism, policy measures would you suggest to solve the social problem or issue? This is the other addition question. So you should have all the related information with regard to this. Locate the topic in the syllabus, identify the social issue or problem, because they explicitly say that this is related to social issue or the problem faced by him. And most important, try to locate in the syllabus, because the very last line of your syllabus says that case studies based on above issues. So try to locate and also internalize the syllabus. Okay. Be prepared for contemporary ethical issues like war, environment, privacy, sports, refugees, child labor, sexual harassment, weaker sections of the society. उस पे ready रहना है. Okay. And very important, they give certain facts in the case study. Why they have given that? You have to make note of these things. Each आपका आंसर केस स्टडी से बाहर नहीं जाना है. So facts are the things based on which you evaluate, you like come up with the options. So facts को consider करना है, because these are the only concrete things in the paper. Facts are truth, facts are objective. So your answer should be based on this one. Three most important things need to be kept in mind. So who are you? That I have told you. What is the problem? What are the problems? What are the options available? What is the issue related to integrity or probity? Means whether it is a public or private relation. Ethical issue or dilemma kya hai? Then, so what is that you have to show or never violate? First of all, very important, society. When there is a conflict between individual and society, always you have to take the societal things. Anything, society should come forward. Next, afterwards, family or social relations, then individual. And core values or ethical standards. So if public service or civil servant, these are the things which are given in the civil service itself. These are the values of civil service. इसको अब बैठ करना ही है. आपका आंसर में ये दिखाना ही है. Say here, constitution, commitment to constitution, the highest value, impartiality, non-partisanship, objectivity, dedication to public service, empathy, tolerance for weaker sections. All these things have to be there. So here, tolerance and compassion, these are the most important things which has to be reflected in your answers, because they may little deviate from the standards which are already present. So along with that, another set of things which is there in draft public service bill. So this is given by second ARC, right? Second ARC pehle, they have already proposed in the draft public service bill, which is under the consideration of DOPT. According to them, these are the values. So isme the things which I have highlighted: patriotism, upholding the national pride, allegiance to constitution, the law of the land, honesty, diligence, courtesy, transparency, ये सब रहना है. And very important, leadership qualities दिखाना है आप इसमें, because that is one of the things which they are looking, and this is one of the values which have been proponed for civil servant also. Social influence and persuasion, these are the things which nobody is applying, you have to apply. And the most important thing yet is emotional intelligence. As I've already told, emotional intelligence, though this term came into existence in 1991 and became popular in 1996, it is recent phenomena. वो टर्म ही इतना लेट आया, पॉपुलर होके रिसर्च में आके पढ़ना, it is taking lot of time. Most of the case studies, most of your answers are lacking in this one, because it is your generation product. So make it a point to see that all these things are there in your answer, especially emotional intelligence. Okay. So decoding, so this I have already asked. So here these are testing, so you have to be showing these things. So content, what is the content of UPSC ethics case studies? What is the subject matter? So this will be relating to integrity or probity in public life, social issues, and conflict faced by the individual in dealing. So these are the things which are present in the case studies. So that is the thing which is there. So you shouldn't be making the mistakes even UPSC has made him, his. So isko change karna hai. Okay. So attitude and approach, for that they will be gauging ethics and integrity and problem solving aptitude. In all the questions, two things will be there. Both the things are will be present, but one will be having greater weightage that you have to identify. And also related to the issues, conflict, all these things, you should have fair idea with respect to sexual harassment. Sexual harassment में क्या rules है, क्या regulations है, Supreme Court judgment क्या है, not only that constitutional provisions क्या है, वो आपको पता रहना चाहिए. And you should have some examples of the NGOs and civil societies also, very important. Say working towards women, working towards underprivileged. It takes hardly 10-15 minutes. Just note those names, internationally famous. Okay. So case studies on the above issue, you have to locate the case study here. So civil service, all these things I have explained, all these things should be there. So this is given by second ARC, they 2008 में दिया recommendation. The same thing is in syllabus. But in syllabus, they have made a very big mistake, blunder. What is that? In the report, it says that in addition to commitment to constitution, these are the things. ये लोग क्या किए, in addition उसको छोड़ दिए. What is the eligibility to be a president of India? First of all, he has to be citizen. वो citizen को छोड़ के सबको दिया है. Are you getting me? Most important lack in my opinion, it's a big blunder not having this one. So the real phrase is, in addition to commitment to constitution, one should have all these things. वो क्या किए, वो छोड़ के ये सब दे दिए. So that you shouldn't be doing. Constitution, integrity, impartiality, वो सब like leave apart. Constitution is the most important thing. Highest ethical standard. देखिए, like you can see, as it is, they have taken. So you should have your answers should be based on this. Not only that, as I told, public service bill, उसमें ये extra है, वो भी रहना है. And Nolan committee, very important. In the whole world, all the civil service reforms and values are based on these things. So selflessness, integrity, objectivity, accountability, all these things has to be there in your answers. So इसमें like you have to take the things. Okay. Constitution, उसमें preamble में क्या है, fundamental right, directive principles. Once again, I stress very, very much upon these things. आपका आंसर में ये सब रहना है. What are your fundamental duties? Just mention those things. It makes a very big appeal that he is following fundamental duties. Right? If you are not mastering these things, your answers won't be complete. Why? You have to put all these things in your answers. Why? Very important question. Not that these are the only things related to social, economic, and political aspects present in the constitution. Agreed? उसके बाद क्या है? President, economy related है. Parliament, economy related है. Like something like that. These are the only things related to society. Everything they are tested is with respect to society. Until and unless you master all these things, your answers will be incomplete. Empowerment of women, you have to write here, from here. Weaker sections, you have to write, because constitution में इसको छोड़ के और कहीं नहीं है other than some reservation provisions. Your complete society, social, political, and even economic aspects are covered. So in all main answers, this should be the major part. Okay. And in addition, as I told, social influence or persuasion and empathy, tolerance, and compassion are the things which are missing in most of the answers, and you have to highlight those things. Case study plus syllabus, you have these many questions, just go through these questions, don't touch any market questions. I have gone through those things, they are not up to standard. If at all, if you want, like you can go to international things like Oxford, Harvard, uska case studies देखिए, local वालों को touch मत कीजिए. Because in fact, they are very, very high standard questions they are giving. And you have to go one step ahead, permutation, combination. Next step क्या होगा? Right? Next variety कैसा होगा? That you have to ready with. Once again, time is limited to bring your attitude. Attitude means mental predisposition क्या है already that they want to do. So you should have clarity. Then automatically time will be reduced. Okay. Problem solving I spoke of. So these were the types of case study which I used to teach previously. So उसको आप एक बार जाके घर में पढ़िए. I'll look into those things afterwards because I want to take some case studies also. Okay. So before 2019, these were the things. So I made the types of questions based on that. Now they have been concentrating on the ethical issues, options available, what is the best option. So very important, comprehension and writing speed रहना है. And you should have like all the previous year questions and case studies. Okay, okay, coming to this one. So it's very short. So once again, you read and what would you do and why? So what will you do? Report to examiner. पहले ओके, आप एग्जाम लिख रहे हैं, आपको दोस्त कॉपी कर रहा है. सो हाउ, कैसे रोकते हैं आप उसको? एग्जामिनर को इम्प्रूव. हियर वन इम्पोर्टेंट थिंग, वेरी इंपॉर्टेंट, यूज ऑलवेज अप्रोप्रिएट अथॉरिटी. क्योंकि टीचर को बोलूंगा, इंस्ट्रक्टर को बोलूंगा, एग्जामिनर को बोलूंगा, दैट इटसेल्फ क्रिपल्स योर थॉट प्रोसेस. अप्रोप्रिएट अथॉरिटी बोले तो आ जाता है. सो व्हाट यू विल डू इन दिस? Very simple. This is the one given by the case study UPSC itself. What is this case study all about? उसमें आप अपना एटीट्यूड क्या दिखाइए? How did you solve the problem? These are the two things. प्रॉब्लम सॉल्व ही नहीं हुआ तो आपको कैसे मार्क्स देते हैं हम? मैं नहीं, यूपीएससी. So here the thing is, it's just simply dragging you by exaggerating some things, right? पहले बेस्ट फ्रेंड है, फाइनल ईयर है, लास्ट एग्जाम है, and he is almost like more than your partner. He is there in your sorrows, everything. By exaggerating that thing, they are masking some other thing. So this is a simple question with respect to society and personal things. So society and personal things, what should be the first one? That is a simple thing. देखिए इसमें just remove those things like shared your joy, sorrow, all these things. Just think him as some other friend. Just think him as some other individual. No attachment. So here simply they are making this thing to exaggerate. ऐसा रहता है in many case studies also. Your parents are in fragile condition. You have got two children. They are going to school. You have got EMI. You have got a ailing mother. All these things simply just say like these things. Here the thing is they're testing. Say for example, think that you are supporting your friend, right? You are supporting your friend. So it is high chances that you will support not only best friend, other friend also. Clear? नॉट ओनली दैट, ऐसे आए तो अब कुछ नहीं करते। कैन यू अप्लाई दिस लॉजिक? सो ऐसे एक बढ़ा दिया है, द सेम विल बी देयर इन योर माइंड। कल आपका एक दोस्त आके लाइक मेरा एक टेंडर है, कुछ करो, क्लोज फ्रेंड, you have been there with 20 years. So if you take that logic, what you will do? You will give him the tender. Is the concept clear to you? Here some things are stretched to the last dead end point that you shouldn't be like carried away with, right? Then how to show your attitude? इसमें आप एक बहुत बड़ा गलती भी किए हैं आपने। Implicitly and explicitly you already showed that you have friends like this. आपका जिंदगी में ऐसा फ्रेंड्स नहीं है तो आपका आंसर डिफरेंट रहता था, इजंट इट? अरे मेरा जिंदगी में ऐसे फ्रेंड ही नहीं रहता है। और ए पर्सन हु कॉपीज लाइक दोस काइंड ऑफ पीपल, दे कैन नॉट बी माय फ्रेंड्स, राइट? सो हाउ यू आर शोइंग योर एटीट्यूड हियर? व्हाट आर द कंपोनेंट्स ऑफ एटीट्यूड, और एटलीस्ट टू बिगिन विथ? सो हाउ यू अप्लाई दिस थिंग्स? ABC अफेक्ट क्या है? So affect, how do you apply this one? I feel shocked by seeing this, right? उससे थोड़ा एटीट्यूड दिखा रहे हैं क्या आप? राइट? बिहेवियर कैसे दिखाते हैं? ABC कंपोनेंट्स ऑफ एटीट्यूड, हाउ बिहेवियर, प्रीवियस बिहेवियर क्या है? I never have friends like this. If they are like that, they cannot be my friends. It was shocking to me. This is the first time I'm seeing. Similarly, knowledge. Are the things clear to you? Just by shaking that these are like shocking to you, it made my exam go wrong. It shows your attitude. So here it is like, you might have heard of Plato and Aristotle. So Plato was the guru of Aristotle. Aristotle criticized Plato in many aspects. Then many came and asked him, "Are Aristotle, what you are doing? You are criticizing your own guru, disloyal to your guru. It's like friendship, right?" Aristotle said a very important thing. Plato is a friend of mine, but the truth is a bigger friend of mine. So आपको friend is important, but society is more important than friend. कोई कॉपी कर रहा है, definitely he will be somebody's best friend, somebody's brother. आप 1 रुपए के लिए यस बोले तो 100 रुपीज लेके या नहीं? इंटीग्रिटी मीन्स अनकरप्टेबल। 1 रुपए दिए तो नहीं लूंगा, 1 करोड़ दूंगा तो लूंगा नहीं, right? That is the one which you have to reflect, right? So here you should show your attitude. In this, like you have to say like how you get shocked by seeing that. Generally, like ये सब स्टोरी नहीं लिखना है, 1 लाइन में फिनिश करना है. Generally, I do like, never in my life I have people, I know people or friends of mine who will copy, right? Never in my life. And even if so, for any other circumstance, even if they are copying, if they come to know that I'm there, they don't dare doing that. By that you have already shown the kind of person you are. आपका attitude क्या है आप दिखाया है. And after that he is doing those things. तो उसमें आप क्या करेंगे? Now comes the approach. Both of you are in the final year. So क्या कर सकते हैं now? So here, like So here locating the things. Here this can be located to ethics in private and public relations, though this cannot be directly said as in chapter number 6, but the concept you can take. Dilemmas in government and private institution, private relations, ethical concerns and dilemmas in that. So here, first of all, society or individual values are the most important thing. इसमें just because they are giving like this, you cannot support in any way. देखिए इतना है, like in simple word, I'll give you one word for solving all case studies. Imagine the most honest person in the world. ऐसा करके एग्जाम को जाओ, ऐसा करके एग्जाम में क्वेश्चन आंसर करो. Is the point clear? So what you expect from the most ethical person, the man of integrity, क्या है वो आप लिखना है, right? So here too I have added some few dimensions also. First of all, society or the individual. First society, afterwards individual. This is about society and individual values. You should never give heed to individual values because they are testing these things itself. Next, what is the approach? How you are dealing with the things that matters. I'll tell the invigilator, no, that is not the approach, because not only you, all the students get disturbed. Definitely you have to mention the thing that I'll be disturbed by this one. Others will also be. So what is the way out? After the exam, there are things. So like how you approach is important. Then balancing society and individual values also. How to balance your friend and also the honest thing. क्या करना है? So complaint भी लेना है. You have to inform. And afterwards, whatever may be there, you should stand with your friend. Right? So कुछ भी हो, that is one of the thing. So here it is not like एक को करके और एक को छोड़ दिया. नहीं, there can be win-win situation for both also. That you have to take into consideration. Not just only one part. There is another classical example in this direction given by UPSC itself. You are going to UPSC interview. Suddenly you found someone, some of your relative, those who are met with accident. क्या करना है? इसमें आपको क्या करना है? वो पेशेंट को भी हॉस्पिटल में डालो और आप एग्जाम लाइक इंटरव्यू के लिए भी जाना है. That is the thing what they are expecting. If you say no, relations are important, मैं UPSC next time रखूंगा, you are not solving the problem. आप कल एक कलेक्टर हो भी ऐसा ही करते हैं. Is the point clear? So हॉस्टल में like हॉस्पिटल में भी जमा करो, उसका बाद also go to UPSC interview. Similarly here, you shouldn't give your friend also. You shouldn't punish him also, because the first time you are coming, seeing those things, there may be many reasons. So here balancing society and individual values, very important. And also you should give the justification based on the core values. Then what is the problem solved? ऐसे आपके दोस्त ही नहीं, ऐसे बहुत से लोग करते रहते हैं. So how to solve those things? Maximum options you have to come up with. And also one most important thing, consultation. So with respect to consultation, you can consult a teacher whom you trust with. ऐसा कर रहे हैं, क्या करना है? Consultation very, very important in decision making. Because the more you consult, it is said to be like the decision will be better. Because you are adding some other's mind also. Some other way of, say for example, solving this case study. Think that you consulted as to how should I solve? I would have given 2-3 more points. So consultation is one thing which you have to be there. Then afterwards, consequences क्या होगा, वो सब आपको लिखना पड़ेगा. Not like in story form, like I am aware that its future may be like something like that. But for that, you have to give solutions also. Then how to prevent such problem in future? कैसे prevent करेंगे? It's not just about your friend copying. So how to prevent these kind of things from happening in future? Very good. CCTV camera. Then there one very important thing. It shows the failure on the school authority to prevent someone from copying. So you have to give suggestions in that directions also, right? So verify the things. So here verify करने का जरूरत नहीं है, because they have given in a perfect sentence that he is copying already. In general cases, you have to verify and you have to discuss with the person itself. So here, after the exam, you can go and ask Mr. X or Miss X, saying that what you have done is not good. So ऐसा surrender करो, ऐसा कुछ बोलना है. So go and accept things like this. Then consultation with any of your friends, senior friends, all these things. Then complain the appropriate authority. At the same time, stand with your friend. So whatever may be the thing. Then moral education नहीं है, इसलिए बच्चे ऐसे कर रहे हैं. इन लोगों को inculcation of core values करना है. So if those things would have been there, you would have not done. So this we are coming with respect to solving the problem. So other than that, you can also have like applying CCTV cameras, making the invigilator, those things you can add upon, right? So this is, in my opinion, like after nearly thinking 10 years, I have come to this conclusion. So like with respect to the classes, with respect to the things I teach, I feel that my classes will be the one-stop solution. क्यों बोले तो, like whatever is available in old Rajendra Nagar, everywhere, I have already gone through. Of late, for the 1 year or 2 years, I am not getting into these things because उसमें उतना stuff नहीं है, और I am feeling that I know more than these people, इसलिए stop कर दिया हूँ. Otherwise, I have touched each and every book, each and every video has to how to solve. In fact, ये question कोई solve नहीं किया है on YouTube or anywhere. And very important, with respect to essay type of questions, please do use ChatGPT, right? Not with respect to facts or these things. Say anything, just ChatGPT में रखो. You will get very good answers. Very good answers. This is very important. Not for prelims, for mains at least. क्या लिखना है, sentences, all these things will be very good. Okay. Okay. So here, same thing was repeated like in another one. Here to tell the gist. So there was a person who went for negotiating the things, a deal with another manager. So they had a discussion in the hotel. So they had the deal and they were coming back. In that process, the manager was dropping the person. So मैं जा रहा हूँ बोले तो somebody is dropping. So the same person is dropping. But during that process, he was driving very fast and he met with the accident. And there was a deal going on between that person also. So वो person accident किया है, right? So you are the only like person who is present. So क्या करेगा आप? Okay, I'll explain these things later because I have to take the slide also. Okay. So this is the another question. Please go through it. This is very simple one. देखिए इसमें 15 like 10-15 पैरास नहीं है. The same question without even changing Mr. A and Mrs. X. Next year repeat हुआ था. I'll show you the question also. Hope you have done with this. So so this can be located in ethics in public and private relations, dilemmas, and also one important thing, work culture also. What is work culture? What is culture? What is culture? So 3 things I told with respect to culture. What are they? Culture is that which is learned, which is passed on from one generation to another, which is accepted by most members of the society. So what do you understand by work culture? एक ऑर्गेनाइजेशन में, एक डिपार्टमेंट में the values, the standards, they get passed down from one generation other than that, like in a flow it will go. Say for example, Infosys has a different work culture. So Adanis may be having different work culture. So uska matlab kya hai? Some informal things also, they are getting passed on from one employee to another. Right? So here, like you are the first batch students. So you also set some precedents here. Next batch students को आपको देख के they will learn some things, right? So work culture, that is one. Okay. So इसमें क्या करना है? So first and foremost, underline करना है. So in fact, even in UPSC, they say that you shouldn't be writing on question paper, but everybody will write. And in your answer, like question booklet, first underline karo. And also flow should be there in your answer. So उसमें sequence क्या है? वो आप identify करना है. So with respect to this, like this may be the one. Okay. Okay. ऐसा आप कर सकते हैं. Underlining the important things. So here, like, let me read the things afterwards. Let me answer this question, because this is the one question based on this. Nearly 5 to 6 questions are there in some or the other combinations. You have been working with your team for almost an year. Means almost a year means you already know what is happening. One of your subordinate means here आपसे जो नीचे है वो कर रहा है, is very effective and hardworking. He takes responsibility and gets things done. However, you have heard that Mr. A makes loose comments about women. Miss X, who is working under A, comes to you visibly disturbed. She tells you that Mr. A has been making undue advances towards her and has even asked her to go out for dinner with him. She wants you to give a written complaint seeking the action against Mr. A. What would you do? So she is asking you to, like, she want to give the complaint. So complaint लेना है या नहीं? अब बाद में लेंगे. क्या करना है? Very important, right? So इसमें क्या करना है? First of all, you have to highlight this also. इसको क्यों दिया गया है? You have heard Mr. A makes loose comments about women. So how can you answer this point? No, you have heard. You have heard. So इसमें क्या है? There is a big lacuna on your part. There were some suspicions. You have heard of. So उसके लिए क्या, like how you show your attitude there? So here first thing is, what you should be writing is, because of this, first thing, like I feel very bad for neglecting this issue. Generally, I won't be neglecting these things. I will be solving then and there itself. Right? इससे आप दिखाए कि ऐसे थिंग्स को आप कभी जाने नहीं देंगे. Right? That is one thing. Next क्या है? Girl has come visibly disturbed and she want to give the complaint. So क्या करना है? You have to take the complaint first. Right? So after that, what you have to do? After taking the complaint, you have to console her. You have to ask, like, क्या हुआ? बताइए, बताइए. Take all the things. And also ask her to give more evidence for the things. And ask her not to disclose the matter to everyone, so that the other person get alerted. So it shows how you are approaching the problem. Right? So after that, you inquire with the things. Already there is suspicion is already there. So inquire karo. You find the facts also. But here, most importantly, according to the law, according to the Supreme Court judgment, there has to be internal complaint committee. वर्कप्लेस में सेक्सुअल हरासमेंट कंप्लेंट दिया तो कंप्लेंट लेना है, एक इंटरनल कंप्लेंट्स अथॉरिटी को बिठाना है. That will take the action. That will find out the things. So this is the one. This is the one that has to be done. Otherwise क्या करना है? If this part is not there, we'll think that this is not there. So उसमें like you have to take the complaint and you have to talk to that person also. So ऐसा आपका ऊपर allegation आया है. What is the one? You have to find all the things. And afterwards, say for example, you decided that that person is a very bad person and what he's been saying is wrong, is correct. So उसमें next क्या करना है? Fire him. Good. Before that, there should be one step. No, we will think that complaint committee is not there. He should be given one opportunity. He should be given one opportunity to prove his innocence. उसमें बहुत कुछ रहता है. Is the point clear to you? He should be given the opportunity. So you have found. Let him put the facts. क्या हुआ था? क्यों ऐसा हुआ? Do you feel he should be given opportunity or not? So right. So in general, आपको क्या करना है? First, you have to verify the things. You have to take the facts. You have to analyze. You have to give equal opportunity for the both. But here, you have to give more importance to the girl who has come visibly disturbed for many things. Right? So this is the one which you should be writing. So any suggestion? Anything you want to add to this? तो इसमें आप आंसर शीट में भी ऐसा मार्क कर सकते हैं. Yes, all these things I will explain, madam. So this is ये ऐसा complaint हुए तो there is no other go. You have to go by law, right? So this is the law. So this I tried to make some things. It went wrong. ऐसा ही है. So here Indian legislative framework to prevent violation against women. All these things you should have idea. ये बहुत ज़्यादा time भी नहीं लेगा. You can take. I have put all these things to the best possible. Sexual harassment of women at workplace prevention, prohibition and redressal act 2013. इसमें क्या बोलता है? If there is anything like that, if there are more than 10 people, a internal complaint should be created after that, and also district level collector भी एक committee बनाना है. So all the things I have given. So it was passed in 2011, defining what is sexual harassment, laying down the procedure for a complaint and inquiry, the action to be taken. Right? So and also Vaishaka guidelines, इसमें क्या हुआ था? वो सब भी like I have briefed the things. Okay. So definition of the things, obligation. So every employer is required to constitute an internal complaints committee at each office or branch office with 10 or more employees. So at the district level, you should also have local complaints committee for each districts or local level. This is information, the things. This will be having the same authority as the court. And sexual harassment का definition क्या है? So ये आपको पता चले तो like you can answer any question. ये sexual harassment होगा या नहीं? So victim could be anyone, even who visits also. It says like that. Not only employee. एक चाय वाला आता है. There also. Circumstances क्या क्या है? Then complaint procedure क्या रहेगा? Timing क्या रहेगा? ये आपका दिमाग में रहना है. So possibility of collision क्या होगा इसमें? Punishment क्या होगा? Domestic worker उसमें क्या है? ये सब दिया हूँ. You just go through. Compensation कैसा रहेगा? Key issues and analysis with respect to this. And also Bombay High Court with respect to maintaining anonymity. So with respect to ऐसे क्या क्या रहना है? That also I have given. Go through these things. Then she box. Have you heard of she box? So वो क्या है? So these kind of things should be there. Sexual harassment, electronic box. Minister of Women and Children Welfare has launched she box to provide single window access to every woman irrespective of her work status. So any woman facing sexual harassment at the workplace can register their complaint through this portal. So इसमें suggestion अब भी add करना है. So here like for women also, what are the things? So ऐसे कुछ करना है. Then other things I have given. Like one-stop centers, she box, all these things, Beti Bachao, National Creature Scheme, Mahila E-Hartal, all these things you should be writing. Idea रहना है. ये सब लिखने को नहीं होता, लिख नहीं सकते आप. If you have all these things in mind, answers will flow. Okay. So this is the same question. So let me show you the next, for next. So solve these case studies. So the same. So these two case studies you have to solve. Maybe Saturday, Sunday हमारा class नहीं रहेगा. So just read this one. And you like see what is the difference between previous year case study and this one. Next year UPSC has given this. So when you're done with, please let me know. So what is the difference here? See, even the names, they have not changed. ऐसे ही दिया है. What is the difference? वो क्वेश्चन में ये क्वेश्चन में क्या डिफरेंस है? उसमें like she was thinking of giving a written complaint, right? Can we underline the key terms in the booklet itself? Yes, sir. But it is will be given that don't underline, but all will underline. So you can also underline. Yes. So इसमें क्या करना है आपको? देखिए पहले कंप्लेंट था, इज अ रेजिग्नेशन है. So based on this, like if you would have prepared for the previous one, don't you think you would have answered this one? So एक ये आंसर लिखिए आप. So इसमें like कहानी लिखने का जरूरत नहीं है. 5 points as to what you will do. So in the same way, next question. Asking about the options available. Okay. Done with. देखिए ये बहुत बहुत छोटी छोटी है. You can understand very easily. But nowadays they are giving very big. So इसमें क्या है difference है? He has gone one step ahead. Complaint also. They have not taken any decision. So now what she has done? She has gone to police station. Police में already complaint दिया गया है. So here they have come for negotiation. Now the thing here, the context is same, but the focus is different. क्या है? The locus is office and sexual harassment, but the focus is something different. क्या है? मैडम स्टिल देखिए ऐसा देखे तो दिस इज ओनली द एरिया इज सेक्सुअल हरासमेंट. इसमें वो इंडिविजुअल क्या करते हैं? सी दे आर जस्ट like you have given complaint, you have been offered 1 crore rupees. It's more of problem solving here. So उसमें आपको 100 ऑप्शंस रह सकते हैं. Are you getting me? Yeah, exactly. We cannot say it's sexual harassment related thing. It is about how we will do when like कोई 10 crores rupees आपको दिए तो क्या करते हैं आप as bribe. So you can see the same here. So I'll show you the another one also. This one. sorry. Done with this. Okay. इसलिए आपका comprehension improve होना है. So what is the difference here? Domestic violence है, but that is not the focus. That is the locus. Focus क्या है? देखिए ऐसा है, like I'll apply to myself itself. So you asked for a doubt or something like that. So I told, okay, like बाद में मिलिए, like I'll resolve. But when you are about to like enter my house, you saw that someone is screaming. ऐसा है कि like I'm involved in those kind of things, right? So आप क्या करते हैं तब? So now you are taking coaching also. Think that you already paid 2 lakhs and think that inevitably in this situation, without help आपका कुछ भला ही नहीं हो सकता है. This is the case here. इधर तो लाखों लोग मिल जाते हैं. In that trigger, what you will do? So ऐसा behind the scene help मत करो. Okay, sorry. Simply for okay, but don't mind. आपके लिए मैं एक ऐसा, because I feel इस क्लास में अकेला, like you should give me the opportunity to make some jokes and you shouldn't make. So इसमें ऐसा है कि like how you deal with this thing. इसमें sexual harassment prevention, that is one thing is there. Like ये situation में क्या है? इसमें क्या है? आपका boss है, and that too is personal relations. उसका घर में वो कुछ कर रहा है, लाइक आपका रूम में आप क्या कर रहे हैं, वो उसको पकड़ के मैं कुछ गाली दे सकता हूँ क्या आपको? सो हियर लाइक प्राइवेट एंड पब्लिक रिलेशंस दोनों को मिंगल किया है. सो दो द इट अपीयर्स एज सेक्सुअल हरासमेंट, it's just like any other problem. And also they have not made anything explicit that you are beating or anything like that. You just heard the voice. So ऐसे सिचुएशन में आप क्या कर सकते? See here, your senior is not doing something unethical in the office. With goodwill, he asked, he has asked you to come to home to solve some problem. तो उसमें क्या करेंगे? Like you are a girl, so you can talk. Say for example, sir. So how can sir talk to my wife or anyone like that? Like what you said is true. That is there. So इसमें already like UPSC 67 questions दे दिए बोले तो all varieties permutation combination already given. So you have to come up with a framework. एग्जाम में टाइम बहुत कम रहता है, यू हैव टू जस्ट जॉट डाउन. सो द सेम हियर, वंस अगेन इन द सेम लाइन, अनदर वन. डन विथ? ओके, पढ़िए, नो प्रॉब्लम. Since I have read many times, I might have read fast. The locus of this is especially sexual harassment. What is the focus? Yes. So in general, इससे क्या लेना है ऐसे केस स्टडी से? What you should be taking? The one thing what you should be taking is when you are truthful, when you are truthful, when you are doing something right, if they have put wrong allegation, wrong complaints, आप कैसे deal करते हैं? Isn't it that? So you are a good person. They have instigated a woman among themselves to give a complaint. That is not about like the locus is about harassment, not the focus. Don't think that it is like the woman, any other thing. A student, say for example, you ask some question, some did something like that, you complain to the management, saying that sir is doing that, is doing this, but I am not doing. In that situation, how would I act? So it's my very important case study में something core is there, something crux is there. What is the problem? कैसे solve करेंगे? कैसे उनको prevent करना है? That is the one. In the process, how you approach, and also in the process, how you show your attitude is the one. So इसके लिए ये solve करना बहुत easy है. But the thing is, you should have good comprehension. In fact, in 2015, though I got good marks, I did not understand one question correctly. That Rampura village, all these things, because of shortage of time. ऐसा हो जाता है. इसलिए आपको 2 passages daily पढ़ना ही है. It may not take like more than 10 to 15 minutes. So these are the things, like hoping that you will try to solve these things. So I won't force those people who are preparing for this time. उनको क्या है, मेरा क्लास का बाद just 10 to 15 minutes मेरा slides देखिए, and afterwards throw it apart. Those who are preparing for 25, you have to do all these things. Because like I have taken like all the sources, like I'll try to explain these things also in a way, combining all the resources, right? So if you have got anything, you can ask me. If you got anything with respect to solving case studies. So what I thought of is like daily एक या दो case studies लेते हैं. It will take time for you to develop the things. So at the fag end, we'll try to have case studies daily, right? So you can also suggest new ways of solving case studies. If you find something very good, please also let me know. Any question? Okay. So if you don't have, let us wind up the session. Have a great day. Have a great weekend. Enjoy with the cold, for which many people are giving lakhs of rupees and going for Simla, Mussoorie, all these places. आपको Simla, Mussoorie इधर ही मिल रहा है. And very important, those people who stay in this cold region are the people who are like very productive. आप लीजिए, जापान लीजिए, even in China, and that zone में कौन रहता है? Because energy is not lost. आप इक्वेटर में ले तो all your energy is lost in sweating and evaporation itself. So you are conserving energy and put that energy into studies. This is a very, very high time. Enjoy preparation with cold. Very good combination. Sleeping is good combination. Reading is very good combination. Okay. Thank you. Enjoy. Okay. आपको ये सब पता है? कुछ कीजिए.